It's the Joe Padula Show, Clarksville's conversation.
Absolutely. WTF? Should you or should you not watch the new Borat sequel? Well, Red Pill Jen will now explain on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely. Hey, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, the whole bit.
Spoiler alert.
All right.
Put that out there. Spoiler alert.
Let's see what you got, Red Pill Jen. All right, the movie Borat.
Yeah.
It's now available on
Amazon Prime.
Okay, so
exclusively through Amazon Prime.
All right, so they didn't release it in the theaters or anything like that.
No.
So boom. Okay, Amazon
But
Prime.
it is free if you have a Prime subscription, so you don't have to purchase it.
And you watched it.
I did. And for the first 15 minutes, let's just say I was really happy I didn't have to pay for it. And I was expecting a lot more of the humor because of the first Borat.
Okay.
And then after I really got into it, I was like, wow, this is just a completely different vibe. And what had interested me about it was hearing all the talk about the Rudy Giuliani situation.
Right.
And again, spoiler alert, it's the end of the film. But it's actually a really good combination of satire and real discussion about the current events today in politics and McDonald Trump, as he called. That just killed me. McDonald Trump.
Combining, like, because, you know, if he's mocking one political party the whole movie, that's going to turn off an entire audience, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes or no, but the way that, I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen he's, in my opinion, he's a comedic genius. I mean, the guy he's amazing.
I agree, too, until he starts getting political.
But it's the way he does it to the point where even with me, I wasn't, obviously, he's going to get political, but he does it in a way that's a little bit, it's smooth. You don't really, it doesn't slap you in the face with it, and it's not done in a one-sided way. I mean, yeah, of course.
Oh, it's definitely one-sided.
It is, but it's not.
Like, take a look at the Rudy Giuliani one, like the clip that you mentioned, okay? And this is towards the end of it, you said?
Yeah, that was one of the last major scenes.
So, just to catch you up to speed, the Borat, Sarah Bacha Cohen.
Sacha Baron.
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen there. He was like, hey, Rudy was being interviewed by this young actress who was played by Borat's sister or daughter.
His daughter. The whole premise that he comes to America this time because Kazakhstan. They were mad at him for the first one. That's the setup of the movie. And obviously now, all of these stunts are, they're scripted, but the people don't know they're in them. And so he had to use a lot of costumes because of the recognizability. But the premise is that he comes to America to gift his daughter to Mike Pence as a way to re-ingratiate himself to his home country. And so at the end, and that's why I said I feel like it's sort of important because he really does go over. Obviously he's a Democrat. I'm not trying to say that it's not against Trump, but the way that he sort of goes over current events and stuff like that, it's you really have to see it to get.
Yeah, I get pranks, but it was put out there that they tried to make a scandal out of this Rudy Giuliani thing.
That was the media.
So, and actually Sacha Baron Cohen too, and I got his quotes saying, "Hey, this should be looked at." All right, and whether or not it's him just promoting his movie in a certain way.
I will say that whole scene is a little sketchy, but I also want to clarify people that were saying that he was definitely tucking in his shirt. But what was sketchy about it was just sort of the overt flirtation between him and this young girl who could have easily been his daughter throughout that scene. It was cringy.
Now, she's the actress. I forget her name, but she's 24 years old in real life.
Yeah, but
in the movie,
she's much younger.
She's trying to. Well, no, she's 24. You can't play.
The character.
Yeah, the character, right?
Yeah. So he didn't know.
But they don't mention the age in it.
No.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Nice to meet you, my dear.
Nice to meet you. You're one of my greatest heroes.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. Thank you.
I will try my best, but because I'm super excited and nervous.
Well, you relax. I'll relax. You want me to ask you questions? I'll relax you, okay?
Yes, thank you. I feel like I'm living in a fairy tale.
Sure. You're gonna do great, okay?
So, please take this. It used to belong to my father, but I think you should keep it.
Oh my God, that's wonderful that you gave this to me. So, well, thank you, my dear.
And by the way, what he's looking at is the how to own a daughter manual.
As an expert of national security, what do you think we can do going forward to prevent this from happening again?
Well, China manufactured the virus and let it out. And they deliberately spread it all around the world. I don't think anybody was eating bats.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a bat?
Oh, no. I don't think I'll ever.
All right, so then a little bit more of this back and forth, right? Okay,
Yeah.
they have a drink, right? All right, good for them, an adult drink. Now he comes in,
Doing very well.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sorry to interrupt, Mayor. Sound problem. I think we cancel interview.
Because at this point, he's changed his mind.
I don't think we need. Because
Yeah, what do I do?
I've already checked.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a bit better. Let me just listen in for a bit. Yeah. Is she asking too many questions?
No, she's doing great.
She'd make a very nagging wife.
No.
If I were you, I would stick to marrying your cousins.
Let me check the sound. Can I check the sound?
Sure.
You could probably go forward a little if you want to get to the
Yeah.
meat
So
of it.
okay,
yeah.
so nonetheless, all right, the interview is over. All right, la da da.
Thank you again.
So she
for
suggests going
giving me
into the
sound.
bedroom, and he
Shall we have a
agrees.
drink in the bedroom?
And that's where people kind of.
Now here's the thing too. This is all edited to
Shall we have a
make
drink
it
in
look.
the bedroom?
You know, like how do we know that? Hey, interview's over. Can we take off your microphone? Let's. You know, we'll do it in the bedroom.
Yeah, and in the scene, you can see her removing the microphone, and he leans back to tuck in his shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he does put his hand on her back, which is, I mean, I don't. It's hard to determine whether it's sketchy or whether it's like a sort of a fatherly.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. It's weird.
nonetheless, what's wrong with a single man? Rudy Giuliani's not a married guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
Like, here it is. This guy's been married for years.
You can give me your phone number and your address.
Out of all of it, this scene is not the one that I thought really was the standout, though. I feel like the only reason it got so much attention was because it is Rudy Giuliani.
Well, the media was trying to make it out to be like, they were saying, oh, look, he's touching himself.
Yeah, which obviously he's not. I mean, the man's tucking in his shirt. That's.
Put down your crumb. She's 15. She's too old for you.
So now here he comes in.
My daughter, please take me instead. Take my anus.
My anus.
Take my anus. Do not have her.
I'm better than him.
No, I better. My back pussy very tight.
Oh, no.
I will let you enjoy.
Talking about a cat.
Yeah. Meow.
And so now Rudy goes out.
So I have techniques with my mouth.
All right, you got spoofed. All right.
Business union.
You got, and there you go.
So one of the good things in the movie, I think, and it does touch a lot on misogyny, and obviously the character of Borat is not what I would actually, not what I would call a feminist.
Yeah.
But it is sort of touching in a way, because in the beginning he's talking about literally gifting his daughter to Mike Pence and all of this other stuff. But then by the end of it, he sort of changes his outlook. I mean, obviously the original Borat was against the Jewish religion, and he touches on fake news quite a bit.
Yeah.
Saying that, Facebook says that the Holocaust never happened. And so I mean, it's the way that he touches on everything that's happening.
What do
he
you
does
think-
it in a satirical way, and I just thought it was interesting.
What if he decided to instead of go after the Trump administration, go after the Biden administration and his team?
I think it would have been just as funny. I think it would have. It wouldn't have worked.
I don't
unless
think he
Biden
would
was
have.
in
I don't think he would have
office.
dared to have done it. Mm-mm. But he's very lucky that he didn't do that interview with that young actress with Hunter Biden.
Oh God.
Okay, because
I have a whole video on that. I didn't know if I wanted to go there on here.
the Hunter Biden stuff. Hot Mess Chess. Okay, you've watched Borat. You like the comedy stuff, right? You've seen Borat and all that other stuff. Are you going to watch this?
No, and I'll tell you why I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to give these people my time or attention, or they're not going to get clicks and make money off of me to peddle this smut. I think it's completely disgusting that they would do that to someone who worked really hard and contributed so much to this country during 9/11. I think it's absolutely despicable, and I will not give anyone that does something like that my time, attention, or money.
Rudy Giuliani, the America's mayor was his nickname.
Yes, I find this completely deplorable. Absolutely disgusting.
Oh, deplorables.
That was 1 minute, though, of an entire movie that touched on so many other issues.
I don't care if it's 1 minute, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds. You're going to attack an American hero like that, I have no respect for you, and I will not give you anything.
All right. Strong words from Hot Mess Jess. Lawyer Wayne.
Some friends and I were discussing the other day about the idea of making a joke that is sexist, racist, offensive to people, and when it's okay. What is he doing with this type of character? For example, a lot of his jokes in the first movie making fun of the Jews, right? And we say, well, it's okay because we know that the actor himself is actually Jewish, and he's giving us license to laugh at jokes that are offensive to the Jews. And he's essentially saying, look, it's okay. I'm a Jew, so I'm allowed to make these jokes. And you're allowed to laugh at these jokes.
Comedy back then was
because I'm the one
different,
saying.
Self-depreciating comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
And it gets a little sleazy when you do that kind of thing. Because if you're saying, look, this joke would be completely awful if someone were to actually say it and mean it. But because I'm saying it, and because of who I am, the words themselves don't matter. You're allowed to laugh at it. He's giving license to... In the same way with his, these experts. My problem with the movie is there's simply horrible, horrible language, horrible, gross out stuff.
It is disgusting. And it's funny, but at the same time, it's cringy funny.
And a friend of mine said,
you feel guilty for laughing.
I really don't like social awkwardness. And I said, well, what if we mix the social awkwardness with some of the most gross out and offensive things you could imagine? No, obviously, it's not a very entertaining thing. And this movie's supposed to be entertaining. This movie doesn't have a point.
What about legality? Say Giuliani, single guy, and this girl actually start making love. And now they're filming it without his knowledge.
New York is a single-party consent state, though, I read.
Well,
for videoing?
Yeah.
I don't think it's without his knowledge. There's cameras everywhere.
No, but not in that bedroom.
Not in the hotel room.
I don't think he was made aware that there was cameras in the bedroom.
You maybe
not.
He was on. He knew that they were there because he actually spoiled the film a couple of months before it came out, and had gone ahead and tried to get ahead of it and had addressed what had happened and said, hey, if Sacha Baron Cohen tries to insinuate that I was fondling myself, I think his direct quote was, he's a stone cold liar.
Yeah, that was his direct quote. Right.
And so, I mean, I just had read that because other people have asked that same question about if he's got grounds to sue, and apparently they're saying that really no, that the best thing that he can do is just to sort of let it ride and wait for the next wave of smut to come along and sort of cover it up. Because New York is a single-party consent state. So, in other words, if the girl consented to be on the video...
Yeah, no, I hear you. Just with the phone calls,
exactly.
I hear you.
Well, the first movie generated some lawsuits, and there were a lot of rumors that a lot of it was fake. That was actually just marketing.
Uh-huh.
Right? People would go out and complain, and some of that was true. That it was fake controversies. Not only would a person appear in the movie,
Jackass would do that also sometimes.
Yeah, they'd get them to complain about it, make a big scene because you want people to come watch the movie.
Yeah.
You want to see how outlandish it really is.
Like the college guys, they sued for, what was it, not defamation, but misrepresentation.
What, from the first one?
Yeah, from the first one.
And it's all... Obviously, he wants that sort of thing because it stirs up. People want to see it. People want to see the Rudy Giuliani scene because they want to see what really happened. And it turns out pretty boring.
That's just like when they were playing Shock G.
Oh, yeah. Ali G.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See, and that's the thing. I really enjoyed, and Babe, we've talked about his movies many of times. Whether it was Ali G, okay, whether it was Borat, a dictator, okay, him in Talladega Nights, I thought was hysterical.
That was great.
Was a good one.
Would you sit there for crepes?
NASCAR dad, and he was gay, and at that time, you know what I'm saying.
But now he does something like this. Does that change your opinion on him at all?
That is his opinion and views.
Yeah.
That just like any comedian out there. Mel Brooks, he got a special on Netflix where he talk about that.
He's still alive? That's amazing.
Yeah, because
that is amazing.
Like Lawyer Wayne said, it's like if you black, you can make black jokes. And if you Korean, you make Korean jokes. And if you do, you make Jews jokes. But when you start making fun of
does
other
that mean he's a pervert because he's making pervert jokes?
Yes.
Sometimes you
Allegedly.
say stuff to make people feel awkward.
Yeah,
'Cause I do that at work. You know?
Non-dangerous comedy is only funny when it's dangerous. Safe comedy is really not funny, in my opinion.
What, you don't like puns by intern Shane when he's here?
Well, that's a little different. He's not out there on a stage in front of thousands of people doing a Netflix special. And there's been a lot of different documentaries that have talked about the different types of comedy and like what Lori Wayne was talking. But this movie, I will say, you know, the original Borat, I can watch it 1,000 times and just laugh like crazy. The second one,
My sister, number 1 prostitute.
number 4 prostitute in all of Kazakhstan. The second one, I don't think is going to have the same staying power. It doesn't have the same, excuse me, it doesn't have the same quotability. And it's definitely not as much geared towards the humorous side of things.
Yeah.
It's much more political. It's much more, and I mean, I don't agree with Jess, but I do completely understand and respect where she's coming from and why she's saying that.
Right.
You know, that's the great thing about having a discussion. Is
Can you two have
Adult
a,
discussion.
Exactly.
An adult discussion.
have a cat fight, though?
No.
Come on.
No, social distance.
Do we have any
We're
pillows?
grown
Do we have
women.
any pillows?
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
grown women.
Yeah.
I'm much more fine with him picking on Rudy Giuliani as the victim of a joke, and selectively editing it to make him look bad or ridiculous too, than I am with, say, what he did to the folks in that Romanian village that he pretended was Kazakhstan in the first movie.
Yeah.
Because those people were not in on the joke.
No,
They
no.
were? I
No.
wasn't aware of that.
So this is where you got to wonder whether you're getting the truth, because the things I read at the time, these people were not in on the joke, that he was, you know, he was saying gibberish to them and then having it translated as these absurd things. And you can imagine if you were, you know, an ordinary person living in Romania and this guy comes with cameras and stuff, so this, you might be quite offended to find out, you know.
Well, I heard they filmed that in Mississippi.
No, it's the Kazakhstan scenes. I believe we're in Romania.
Romania, yeah.
But that may not be true. Maybe that itself was a lie designed to get us to talk about it more.
Could be.
I can tell you what I read now, and that was that I don't know whether or not they were extras or whether they were aware of it, but I do know that at the time, the country of Kazakhstan was very, very, very upset.
That's
but
where
now
it comes from. Yeah,
But now they've embraced it, and they're using it to their advantage.
Is he making fun of Kazakhstan? I think he absolutely was. I think he's you know, making jokes about foreigners so that we will laugh at him, look at the ridiculous foreigners in his backward ways.
Yeah, maybe not specifically Kazakhstan, but any
he's
country.
He's the one that said Kazakhstan.
Well, but it could also apply to literally any country.
Yeah.
I agree.
He could have made up, you know,
He could have.
Boratistan or
But
something.
there were a lot of people that thought that the original Borat at first was a legitimate documentary.
Sure.
That's what, and back in 2006.
Why? What drunk said that?
What? It was a whole thing. I remember that there were a handful of people out there who were under the impression at first that it was legitimate.
Well,
So
very
probably the
interesting.
same people
Perhaps.
think that chocolate milk comes from brown cows, but
Probably.
All right. Well, good WTF.
Thank you.
Good.
Watch it or
report
don't, but
on
it's interesting.
Borat the sequel. Borat 2 it's out now, as you said, on
Subsequent movie film on
Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Canceling my Prime.
You ain't gotta cancel it. Just don't click on it. Because here's the thing.
Can't cancel the Prime. I love that free
Yeah.
shipping.
Here's the thing. I do too. Here's the thing. Don't click on it. If you don't agree with it or you don't like it, don't click on it. Because if you click on it, then it moves up on its, like, how often it's promoted and how much you see it and how much it's out there. So if you don't support something, just don't click on it. It's that simple. You don't have to give up an entire platform just because of one show.
Or just be like me and go to YouTube and find the what do they call those? The pirated clips that are uploaded there.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I assume this movie, like the first one, is really a sort of a series of setups for jokes and
Exactly.
such. There were a few from the first movie that were
Yeah.
funny. And some of the funniest ones were the clean ones, like the one where he's trying to describe the not joke. Like, how do you?
Yeah.
That was probably the funniest scene in the whole movie. And nothing wrong with that one.
It's like any
a good
other
joke.
comedy. Some of it falls flat, and the thing is what one person finds hilarious, another person might think is dumb. So
Did I miss? Was I wrong, or did I miss that he said that his daughter was 15 years old?
He did.
Okay, and you said that he was bringing him here basically to
in the beginning,
to make her someone an older man's wife.
Yeah.
And with the fact that we have such a movement of Save Our Children, and human trafficking and is such a huge deal. I find that despicable too, that he would do that and portray that he was taking this girl there to marry her off, this young teenage girl there to marry her off to some young guy. I don't like that at all.
That's why he did that.
That's in his way.
I think it's just in bad taste.
Just to make you mad.
Right.
Well, actually, it makes me mad.
He starts
as a
it that
victim of
way.
rape. I find that very offensive.
Yeah,
Well,
understood.
I thought
and-
so too, and it was cringy. But he starts that way, and then as the movie progresses, it's almost like he becomes more enlightened. And the reason he actually barges in on the interview with Rudy Giuliani is to call off the whole arrangement
But he knows the actress is a 24-year-old woman.
well, sure.
But
You
they
know what I
can't
mean?
use a
That's an
15-year-old
ethic.
girl
Like in real
for that. I
life.
mean, that would be bad too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there it is. WTF. Let us know what you think about Borat 2. Will you watch it? Will you not watch it? Type in those comments and definitely share it on your timeline. Thanks, Red Pill Jen.
Not a problem.
All right.
It's the Joe Padula Show. Bada bing. Clarksville's conversation.